Hey, you crazy cats, welcome to Leaving CrazyTown, where we navigate the roller coaster of relationships, mental health, and personal transformation with humor as our trusty seatbelt.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and with my buddy Finn, we're here to share our real stories, expert insights, practical tips to help you break free from codependency, reclaim your life, and find freedom.
So whether you're wrestling with boundary issues, craving connections that won't ghost you, or just here for a front row seat to the wild ride of self-discovery, you've come to the right place.
So buckle up, we're leaving CrazyTown.
Hey, welcome to Leaving CrazyTown with Finn and Sarah. I'm Finn, and that's Sarah. What are we going to talk about today,
Why
Sarah?
am I always laughing when Finn starts? Hello, everyone. Okay, we're going to talk about something we call
The Codependent No.
the Codependent No. So, what we're going to ask of you, and we're going to give examples, is when you have to say no, and you know the answer is no,
The word no should be in the answer. I'm sorry, I just had to start.
No, but all right, we're going to give some great examples, and you guys are going to be dying because you're going to see yourself all over these examples.
Yeah, and remember, no is a complete sentence. But if somebody asked you a yes or no question and the answer is no, it's helpful if no is in the answer.
Yes, and I will, and now I'm going to quote Gabor Mate. Gabor Mate
You're so fancy.
literally says, when asked, he's the guy that wrote all the trauma books, he said, what is the most important tool to learn if you want to have a happy, joyous, wonderful life? Learn to say no. Literally, that was the first thing he said. So this is huge, people. We're joking about it, but it's huge. Okay.
And recently, my daughter and I have been discussing this and how if it isn't a hell yes, then it's a hell no.
Yeah, it's a great distinction. I mean, so there's different pieces of this. We're going to give
so many pieces.
So many pieces. We're going to give an example of a codependent no. Then we're going to give other options if you're undecided. That's different. This is really when you know the answer is no. All right. But undecided, like, let me get back to you.
I'd rather not.
I'd rather not. I'll call you tomorrow. I need to think. Whatever. Okay, so that's
the I'd rather not is when you know it isn't a hell yes and you know it's a no. You'd say I'd rather not because
it's just a way to say it.
Because the whole codependent no thing could be with I'll get back to you, I'll whatever, and you're still left with having to deal
with it.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because you could say, I'll get back to you when you're just afraid to say no.
Right.
Or you could say it if you're really undecided. Okay, let's give examples of the codependent no. Go.
The codependent no. Well, I've had several of them this week. So one was asking somebody to lunch, and you guys may have heard me talk about this before. And they start with, well, at breakfast, I ate this and this and this. And well, I had pancakes for breakfast, and then I had breakfast a little late, and the message goes on, and I get to the end of it, and it doesn't say that I don't want lunch, but I'm like, okay, are they full? Why are they talking to me about, I'm literally left to interpret. And the question was, do you want to get lunch?
Yes or it's a yes or no.
It's a yes or no question.
It's a yes or no.
So I'm like going on this merry-go-round with whoever wrote the answer, one of my coworkers, and I'm like, so then I have to write back, so do you want to get lunch? Yes or no?
Okay, so I want you guys to think about, why did that happen? Why does the person respond that way? How does it feel when someone responds that way? And what is hard about just saying, gee, I can't do it today? All right. And the thing we're talking about here is the problem with the codependent no is you literally don't get an answer.
I used to think that I was getting an answer, but then I realized I'm actually only reading the answer into it based on how I feel. So
Yes.
If I had recently had a big breakfast and didn't want lunch, I'd be like, oh, they're full, they don't want to go. And I might respond as if it was a no.
Yes.
Or I could be like, oh yeah, I had pancakes too. Let's get salads.
Yes.
Or I'm thinking they're talking about what they ate for breakfast based on the time they want to go to lunch or how much they want to eat for lunch. But it all depends on where I'm at. So now I'm trying to interpret their answer based on what's going on for me and not even realizing it, as opposed to more so after I've been doing this work, I go back and I read what I wrote,
Yes.
and I clearly have a yes or no question in there.
Yes.
And then I've got an
Yes.
answer this long, and
Yes.
I'm filtering through, and I'm like, I
Right.
don't know.
Right. And so one of the issues
I
here
find it
too.
frustrating is
Oh,
basically what I was
I
going to
was
say,
just going to say that.
because now I'm forced to do additional communication.
Yes, not only are you forced to do additional communication, but now it's your job to interpret what they said. So it's all this extra work,
And
which is super annoying.
and you're just riddled for that type of communication. So much miscommunication,
So much
right? So
miscommunication.
say I do interpret it based on how I'm feeling instead of go, wait, they didn't really answer the question. I could be wrong.
Yes,
So I could be
absolutely.
planning to have lunch with them and they're not,
Absolutely.
or
So what we're talking about here is over explaining. Okay. So, and this is the irony about over explaining. So someone asked you to lunch. You feel bad that you can't go, or you feel like you're going to hurt their feelings if you don't go. You make up a story that somehow, and this is the definition of codependency, people, somehow what you're doing is now affecting this other person in a negative way, when Finn just wants a yes or no answer. So it's all about the receiver's codependency, okay? And this is the irony. What happens is, while you're over explaining, all you're doing is pissing the person off. So
sorry, go ahead.
no, what you're trying to do is, oh, I'm going to hurt them or upset them if I say no.
Now you have.
Now it's the opposite. The codependent behavior is what upsets the person. So be clear about that. Okay, go ahead.
What I was going to say was the other piece for me is I can start to do this, which is codependency as well. I start making it about me. So I was
Yes.
actually talking to Sarah about this the other day, where I was like, why doesn't this person understand they can tell me what they want?
Yes.
Because then I'm now like, what? Why am I not safe? It has nothing to do with me because I have very clear boundaries, but that's what happens for me. I'm like, how do I make, so then, I'm sending out an email that says, or a message that says, oh, it's okay to do what you want. Like they need my permission, but now I'm placating to the person who can't answer.
Yes.
But that, you know what I mean?
It's
Which is my stuff, but
yes, it's basically disempowering to both people.
yeah.
So we're talking about clarity and communication. And when you have codependency, what we tend to do is we rationalize, we justify, we want to make a decision, but we don't feel okay about it. It feels mean or something like that, or you feel selfish. So you have to justify it and rationalize it when really it's just annoying to the other person.
And I told Sarah where I get to is I don't care, even though, I mean, I do care, right? So Sarah and I have had incidences where
Yes.
we've had to cancel on each other last minute. And we've talked about it. We said, oh, I'm a little activated because I feel like we'll actually communicate that.
Yes.
I'm activated because I don't want to disappoint you. I want you to know that I still care about you. I want to spend time with you. It's just not right for me. And when you start developing those relationships with the people that you care about,
Yes.
you create this safe bubble. The other piece I want to talk about is if you do embark on this journey to tell people the truth, yes or no, and really advocate for yourself, if you're finding a lot of pushback and guilt coming back at you, people making you feel bad, you never want to spend time with me, or, think about those relationships too.
And that was the training I had. All these codependent behaviors come from our early relationships, right? We learn how to survive in relationships. And my dad was a guilt maniac with me. The minute I started separating and wanting my own life and would say, hey, I need to do this, he'd say stuff like that. Oh, you don't love me.
Because you're responsible for his happiness and well-being, which is
That's
the
the
case.
message. That's the message. So it's really noticing, geez, the old self might have some feelings about saying no, but the reality is, and it's really being clear about this, clarity and communication leads to healthy relationships.
Absolutely.
And it has happened with myself, with my partner right now. It's amazing to me how I think I can be being clear, but there's still miscommunications.
So a couple of times when you've run them by me, I'm like, oh, what were you trying to get across?
I know. And Finn is often saying, what were you trying to say? And I do that. I think I kind of go around the bend.
You're having your thought processes coming out in the message, which I think is a little different than the codependent no, but it still lacks clarity.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Wrapping up, tools.
Well, if you mean no, just say no. And you don't have, like, maybe you have to say it meanly at first, and you have to tolerate feelings, right? It's warrior work.
It is.
We always say, if you have a safe person or a safe practice with them.
Yes.
Like, if you're in relationship with us, you can practice with us.
Yes.
You know, I found my community growing with people who are like, I'm so grateful that I can just tell you really what I want and need, and you don't hold me accountable if it doesn't meet with what you want.
Yes.
And those are the people you want to surround yourself with. So we got to practice, pick safe people to practice and tolerate uncomfortable feelings. But we promise you, it gets easier.
Yes. And the thing is, there are consequences to saying yes when you want to say no. Oh. It's a recipe for all kinds of
cancellation, showing up late, not following through, or doing it and being a rage machine.
Yes.
Hating your friends because you said yes.
Depression, anxiety, seriously, all kinds of problems. This is a simple thing, but it's huge. So practice a no this week and watch yourself. If you're starting to like go down a road of over-explaining, just try to stop yourself and say, wow, I'm noticing I'm having some feelings about just saying no, but really I can't do that. Or whatever it is.
And sometimes when I get a request, text, email, usually text or email because I can read it. If I automatically start to feel like, ugh, it's probably a no.
Yes.
And that is my guilt, right? So pause.
Yes.
Try to let it settle for a minute, and then remember, you have a right to say no and change your mind. But it's a lot easier to say no up front if you're certain and you don't do a last minute ditch out.
Yes, because that's happened to me a lot of times where someone I know is codependent and they will agree to something and they literally that day they cancel because they knew all along. So if you have that happen, watch that also.
And the other piece is, if you're giving unclear answers or no answer at all, but just a long story about what you had for breakfast, you're going to have to do some more communicating.
Yes.
So if you want it over, no.
That's right.
No, thank you. I'd rather not today, maybe another time, whatever you got to say, but answer the question that's asked. Don't run us down like a,
oh my God.
Woo on the roller coaster with you because we don't know what the hell you're saying. But it happens. I've done it. I still do it on occasion, especially with my stepkids. I always want to say yes, but sometimes,
right. I do believe too, Finn, that we really know immediately, and then the immediate we override it.
Yeah.
So try not to override what's happening inside.
Yeah, and if you feel it immediately, just don't answer.
Yeah.
You need to eventually, but
right. Just notice it.
Yeah.
All right. Fasten your seatbelt. We're leaving CrazyTown. Thanks for listening to Leaving CrazyTown. We hope today's episode offered you valuable insights and tools to help navigate your relationship.
If you found our discussion helpful, please rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast. And share it with a friend. Misery loves company, right?
Stay connected with us on social media and visit our website for additional resources and updates on future episodes.
Until next time, remember that breaking free from codependency is a journey, and we're here to help you every step of the way. And hey, if all else fails, at least you'll have a few laughs.
So buckle up. We're leaving CrazyTown.